Well, tell me first of all, how was it between yesterday's call and today? What did you notice?
When we got off the phone, I was totally energized. I put on the music. I spent like 3 hours organizing my mess, which was, just a slew of beads and wire and chain and things all over the place that I've been avoiding dealing with. There's been a lot of avoiding lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fun with it. I put the music on and I spent time with myself and I cleaned for like 3 hours and it was awesome.
What we're going to accomplish on this call is this. We're going to review what you wrote. I'm pointing at my screen, okay? Because
Okay.
I'm looking at what you wrote. So we're going to review what you wrote, and I'm going to teach you something about a different way to look at what actions build a redesign. The first thing is I want to make sure when we look at what you're going for in your career area, which we're calling your room, right? What we're
Right.
redesigning in this room, we want to make sure that you, again, are focusing yourself on and centralizing yourself around that you're designing something. You're redesigning something. So we established yesterday that your current design is what?
I'm not where I want to be, and now I don't have the time to make it happen. Totally. That's pretty much
Okay.
my life right now. Fucking sucks. Excuse my language.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's the current design that we're redesigning.
Hmm.
The difference between do what you like when you want to make something happen in redesign work.
Yeah.
For instance, when we're out and we meaning, we're going through this, and so you go, okay, I want to find a good rep. And you contact a rep, conversation goes, fine, great. And you ask yourself, is this the rep for me? What you're going to have to look for is this rep in demand? Is this rep somebody who's going to get me in demand? Do I feel supported? And if you don't feel those things, that ain't the rep for you.
Okay, got it. So I'm checking everything against supported and in demand. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I
So
got it. Yeah.
every person, every action, every system, my choices are now around being supported and being in demand. If I feel in my day as I'm going through my business that I'm too much is weighing on my shoulders, I got to stop everything, tell everybody, let's get together. We got to put in more supportive structures here because I'm feeling overloaded.
Right,
The
right.
more so Allison's going to have her eye on the more in demand I get, the more supportive structures I need to design in. That's my check and balance system.
I love it.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's look at it as far as communication and taking action.
Mhm.
Allison, if you and I were just standing here and all of a sudden I went like this, what would you do?
I would look up to where you're
Exactly.
pointing.
Exactly.
Yes.
If I pointed and we're two people in the same environment, you would direct your focus on what I'm pointing at, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if I were to take my arms and go like this, you
I
would
want to hug you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And in order to hug me, I would have to be open to receive you, and you would have to be open and you would step into me, right?
Right.
Okay. Now notice my pointing was a line and this was a circle.
Okay.
Those two things make up everything. So if you want to expand your business, you got to do a lot of asking and sharing. If you want to make sure that there's structures put in, you've got to direct and do. And everybody
Okay.
else got to be direct and doing too.
It's do, 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 and I mean, that's my experience.
Yeah.
Is my lists just grow and grow and grow. They become so overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't get everything done on my list. I'm living inside of that design.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When you design your actions to be both a circle and a line, it's almost like you bend time. With one step, you get 10 results.
Okay, awesome.
Right? One thing that we're going to take an action with between today and tomorrow.
I think more infrastructure organization, making sure my constant contact account is set up. I don't even know if it's been canceled.
Okay. Okay. So now, you need your constant contact to be set up, which is totally makes sense because all your newsletters can be automated and
Yeah.
all your people go in there, so that gives the in demand, right?
Right.
Except for if Allison does that,
It's right.
it takes up a bunch of time, right?
Right. This
And
is the
it's not
problem.
supportive. If you do it yourself, how's that support?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start off with this. We want the constant contact done, which is we want something done. That's a linear choice. We want to get it done. But now we got to use this. Who can you ask or who can you share about this with that could support you and give you support in getting the constant contact done?
Tony, my web design guy.
Great. So then our first action is going to be share with Tony, share with Tony that I'm redesigning my company to go from I'm running out of time to a supportive and in-demand company.
Okay.
And can you please help me? This is the question. Can you please help me set up my constant contact? And are there any other ideas you have for me that would give me a supportive structure so that I can become in demand? Let's do one more. So what's something else that needs to be organized, that you want organized? Sure that when you do it, that it doesn't have just a beginning, a middle, and an end, that you're doing it in a way that you're saying, how am I setting this up so that other people can come in and manage it?
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Yes.
So you're not...
I'm thinking in the realm of being supported and including others.
Yes.
Right.
So the actions that you take, the way that you label it, the way that you set it up, the way that you whatever, so that you know that if you were downtown and you needed somebody that you're going to bring in the next few days because we're going to create this fervor around you, right? That you know that you could say, it's right there. It's right. There's a list on the door and everything you need is in step. There's a way that you're doing. So then they're like, oh, got it. Thanks. I could totally take care of this whole thing myself. You see?
Right. Yes. Yeah. So here's a couple things I want to say that are looming in the background.
Go ahead.
I have 3 interviews coming up that I have to complete. One is with an online blogger, and she said I can basically talk to her any evening this week. One is with SF Indie Fashion and another magazine called Dig In, where I have to have my questions to her by, I think, the 15th.
So are these questions in order to market you?
They're in order to get the piece published about Red Hot Jewelry.
Okay. So
it's like they're beginning the interview process with questions that they emailed to me.
Okay. Is there anybody else who can do a first cut at the questions?
No. Well,
is that personal?
Oh, you mean as far as my business goes?
Yeah.
No, I'm it. This is the thing. I work by myself.
No. But hold on one second. Give me 3 of the questions.
Oh, I have to open up my email. Hold on one second. Let's see. Okay, these are a couple of her questions from Maureen Sanders at SF Indie Fashion. What have you been working on lately? Have a new collection that is out for the holidays. If so, tell us about it. Do all of them. What unusual or notable materials will be found in your jewelry and accessories? What makes them stand out? How has your work evolved over the last year? When you're not designing jewelry, what could we find you doing in your time off?
You already have that. You're like basically cutting and pasting.
You know, you're right. Yes.
Okay.
And actually, come to think of it, I have an interview and a press release that I have in my archives that have a pretty good chunk of who I am and what I'm about. Yeah.
Just like we're doing with your interview and what have you, we're just duplicating supportive and in demand. Supportive and in demand.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. You just did it because that supports me. I mean, I see that.
Yes?
Yes.
We're just saying.
It supported pulling out the old archives.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you know what? It's really simple to do the interview as long as you don't overthink it and think it has to be some huge thing that you have to be ready for.
Totally.
Okay, so we've got our action items. So on tomorrow's call, I want to hear what happened. I want to hear how it felt. I want to hear what you went through. And then we're going to go in. We're going to pick some more action items, get some more things happening. Boom.
Okay, cool.
Okay, talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, bye. Thanks.